Well, hi there folks, it's Matt Hayson here looking at everything going down in and around the Sydney property market over the last week. Well, I wanted to look at the auction market because we're continuing to see some pretty choppy and mixed results in the auction environment, where last week we saw an overall clearance rate in Sydney sitting at just 52%. Pretty healthy numbers of volumes as well, sitting at almost 1,150 properties. Now, we did expect April would be a bit of a disrupted month because we've just come out of Easter, we're now in school holidays, we've got Anzac Day next week, which could be playing a bit of a role with people away and things of that nature. But of course, inflation remains pretty sticky. We saw that jump up in the US last week, and the ripple effect into Australia has money markets now tipping that the next rate cut in Australia won't be until February 2025. So that could be weighing a little bit on overall market confidence and sentiment. And also, ANZ latest data suggests that housing affordability in Australia is the worst it's been in 20 years, with the portion of income required to service a typical mortgage in Australia currently sitting at almost 50%. Now, that's a sharp rise from the 10-year average sitting at 34%. And Sydney, that is the hardest market to crack, as you would imagine, with aspiring homeowners requiring a portion of almost 75% of their salary in order to service a loan at the medium house price. So all of these things could be contributing to why we're seeing that mixed result and that weaker auction clearance rate. Now, moving aside from the Sydney auction environment, I wanted to zoom right in and give you a case study on the Balmain Peninsula auction market. As we'd all know, Balmain, one of the most sought after suburbs and best suburbs in Sydney. We have an amazing array of properties and an eclectic mix of real estate as well. And last week we had 9 scheduled auctions due to go under the hammer across the suburb, and a great range of properties from all different price points as well. So it was a really interesting test of the market. Now, from these 9 auctions, 0 sold. That's right, 0 from 9, which is quite extraordinary. And you can see here as I bring up the chart, many of those were withdrawn. Some of those property auctions were postponed, so the auction dates have been pushed back further. And then some of those properties which were actually went through the auction process, the bidding didn't meet sellers' expectations. In fact, one of the sales on Nicholson Street in Balmain East has seen a $500,000 price reduction from 2.2 down to 1.7 during the course of the campaign. That's almost a 23% reduction, which is quite extraordinary. So this is pretty extraordinary data that many people wouldn't be aware is unfolding in some of the best blue ribbon suburbs in Sydney. We did the analysis as well. It's happening in Mossman, it's happening in Paddington, it's happening in Woollahra, as well as here in Balmain. So sellers need to be aware that we're seeing a little bit of a disconnect at the moment. What they're reading in the media often over the weekend about these auctions that are selling for hundreds of thousands, if not millions above the reserve, is normally the anomaly to the market right now, not the rule. What we're currently seeing is a bit of price sensitivity on the part of buyers and some caution before moving forward with their purchase, and a bit of a misalignment between where buyers are seeing value and where sellers' expectations are currently sitting. So we'll need to see that disparity to already tighten up a little bit to see that auction market improve. But there's plenty of green shoots unfolding in the market. As I mentioned, there's lots of buyers looking, and we're also seeing home loan approvals right across the board. They're ticking up, so we'll see a continuation of new buyers coming into the market. And also, the latest ANZ Consumer Confidence Survey has also seen modest gains across the board. So that's some pretty good stuff as we move into the future. Now, that leads us into this weekend, folks, where we've got some great properties open to see over the school holiday period. Our entire team looks forward to seeing you out and about. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next week.